Hello everyone, welcome back to Larry and Amy's Kitchen. Well, we got a little bit of a sweet tooth problem. We need something sweet to eat, something fairly fast to fix and don't cost an arm and a leg. So what we have decided to make tonight is something that's called a coconut poke cake. Now, what the heck is a poke cake? Well, if you stay tuned, we'll show you in a little bit why they call it that. The first thing we're going to do is preheat our oven at 350 degrees. So we'll get that started. Now, we're going to take a white cake mix. In this case, we have Betty Crocker cake mix. And we're going to open that. Put it right into the bowl. I'm always careful when I'm opening these. I'm afraid I'm going to drop the bag and then there would go half the cake mix all over the floor. And if you've never done that, you're lying. Because I know it can happen to anybody and everybody. It's just one of them things. So, there's the white cake mix. We're going to take 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, pour it in, 1 cup of cool water, we're going to add that to it, and 3 eggs. We're going to crack them, put them in there. Now, you'd be doing this regardless whether you're making this poke cake or any other type of cake. You're going to follow the instructions on the box to begin with on how you would cook this white cake to begin with, which is exactly what we're doing. So now we're going to take the mixer and mix it up real good. Just the way I like to try and keep my working areas clean if I can as possible while I'm cooking. Alright, we're going to start this and mix this up a little bit. And make sure you get all the mixed in as much as possible so that there's no lumps, no hidden surprises. Doesn't take that long with a mixer. A couple minutes at the most, usually. I think we about got her. Take these off. Get them out of the way. And tonight we're going to be using, you can use the round pie pan if you prefer, but we happen to have the 9x13 glass cake pan, pie pan, whatever you want to use it for. And we're going to use that, and first I'm going to spray this canola oil on it so that nothing sticks. If you don't have oil, you can use butter, whatever, Crisco, it doesn't matter, anything that you've got that you would use to keep it from sticking. And then all we're going to do is take this cake mix and pour it right into the bowl or the pan. So this is the first part of making this poke cake. So this part, there's nothing that you probably haven't done already before. So simple. You can read the instructions on the back of the box. You got it. Now, we're going to go ahead and take this. In just a second, I'm going to set it in the oven. Remember, it's being preheated to 350 degrees. And based on the size and type of the pan, we're going to be cooking it for about 30 minutes. So what we will do, we will come back at the end of these 30 minutes, or when the cake is done. You know, you test it by sticking a toothpick in there, and if the toothpick comes out clean, then you're good to go. And we'll go from there. There's going to be about 3 different segments to this video, which you'll see, bam, 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 just like that. So the first thing is, we're going to come back after 30 minutes, and I'll show you what we need to do next. So you stay tuned. It'll be just a second for you, and it'll be 30 minutes for us, and we'll be right back. Alright everyone, welcome back. It's been about 30-35 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and turn this oven off, and we're going to pull the cake out of the oven. There we go. That looks good right there. Now, I told you this is called a coconut poke cake. Now, why do we call it poke cake? You're fixing to find out. And the reason is, it says you can take a fork or what have you and use it to poke holes in your cake. Well, I'm going to try something a little different. I don't know if it'll work. I want bigger holes in my cake, and you'll find out why in just a minute. I'm going to start poking some holes in this, just like that. And that is not going to work too good because it is so hot that the straw, I think, is collapsing. So we worked something tonight. You cannot use a plastic straw, so we'll just do this. I was hoping that would work. Now if you had a metal straw, which I know they make nowadays, that would work good. What I was wanting to do was make some bigger holes, but this will work just as well. Now I know it looks like I might be tearing the cake up a little bit, but like I said, you're not going to see this in a little while. But we're going to poke holes in this cake fresh out of the oven, which was at 350 degrees for about 35 minutes, whatever it says on the box, as far as how you want to cook it. Okay, I think I've poked quite a few holes in it. Now, reason why we're doing that is we're going to be pouring something over this cake that's going to soak inside of that cake and make it so moist. The first thing we're going to use is a can, which is 14 ounces here, of sweetened condensed milk. So let's open it. Let's pour that in the bowl. It's so rich looking. And I think what I'll do, I'll get me a spoon to help get the rest of this out. Okay, good enough. And then we're going to take 1 can of sweetened condensed coconut milk. And we're going to pour that in with the sweetened milk that I just added to it. Alright, now we're going to take the spoon and just mix this up real good. Remember, we're doing this with the cake fresh out of the oven. We poked holes in it. Alright, and then we're going to take this mixture and we're going to actually pour it right over the cake. And those holes that you punched in the cake are going to allow this mixture to seep inside of it. That's why I was hoping I could use that straw, but this will get the job done. I've had this once before and you wouldn't believe how moist and flavorful this cake turns out by doing it this way. Now, the next trick to making this cake is that we're now going to set it in the refrigerator probably for about an hour. And we're going to let it cool down. And then we're going to put the last of the secret ingredients on top of it to go along with this mixture that we just poured over the cake. So I'll see you back in about an hour, which for you is just a second or so. And we'll see what this looks like. We'll prepare the topping that goes on this cake, and we'll spread it across it and let you see how it looks. We'll probably even cut the cake and let you see what it looks like on the inside. So we'll see you back in just a minute. Alrighty, we have had this cake in the refrigerator for about an hour now, letting it cool down. And if you will notice, we had poured the mixture of the coconut milk and sweetened condensed milk over the top of this, and it has completely soaked into the cake. So now the last thing that we need to do is put a topping on this cake, and we're going to use some Cool Whip to start with. Let me open that. We're going to use this whole container, and we're just going to spread the Cool Whip over the top of this. Now this Cool Whip was originally frozen, but we have let it thaw out. The main reason that we let the cake cool was so that the Cool Whip would not melt. Plus this cake is meant to be refrigerated, kept cool, and it just, I think, enhances the flavor of all the ingredients that we have added to this cake. So, turn this around. You're probably saying to yourself, my goodness, that cake is going to be so rich. Well, honestly, it probably is, but it tastes so good. You don't need a huge piece. but you will enjoy every bit that you do get. Let me finish spreading this out. Try and make sure we got a fairly even level all across the cake. Go ahead and just get the rest of this out here onto the cake, and then we can spread it out. All right. This is one of those, when you're spreading this out, you don't want to spend a whole lot of time doing it, because the more you spread it, it seems like the more you're going to make it bare in certain spots, more bare than others. So we're just going to, here's a good example of what I was talking about right there. If you go over too much, just want to lightly spread that out. And remember, this is called a coconut poke cake. So last but not least, we're going to add some coconut flakes to the top of it. And let's see, can I tear this? Yeah. See if I can open this right up here. Yep, sure can. We're just going to use our hands to sprinkle some coconut all over the top of this cake. I guarantee you, unless you don't like coconut or Cool Whip, I have a feeling that this is going to be a hit at any family or gathering where you're having like a potluck. Everybody brings a dish, provides a dessert, what have you. You bring this and put this out there, I have a feeling that you're going to see it be the hit of the party. I've just about got, I think, enough spread on there. And I'm barely using half this bag. This is a 14-ounce bag, so barely using half of it. Spread it out, make it look pretty. Now, you know, let your imagination run wild. If you wanted to put some red cherries over the top of this, space them out, whatever you can. M&Ms, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. I myself, I think we got enough. This is going to be delicious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a knife here, and I'm just going to cut a path right through here. Now, I never know how this is going to come out of the pan, so we'll just see what happens. We're going to get a spatula. Let me see here. We'll try this one. Got a plate, and we're going to see what this looks like. There we go. It's falling apart a little bit, but that's okay, because you know what? You're going to be using a fork on this, and you're going to be breaking it up anyway. So we're going to make sure. Now, if you were here, you can, I don't know if you can see that, how moist that cake is with all of that cream batter, whatever you want to call it, mixture that we poured on it. Now this ain't the prettiest, but I guarantee it's going to taste the best. Take a look at the cake over here. It is very, very moist. I guarantee you, if you make this, you'll love it. Like I said, unless you don't like coconut, you can't go wrong. So anyway, we're going to enjoy a piece of this and put the rest in the refrigerator. We'll have some for tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed this little recipe. It's not expensive at all to make. You're talking about, you know, hour and a half or so, counting cooling the cake mix in the refrigerator first before you put the final topping on it. So it's not hard to make, and like I said, I know everyone will enjoy it. So we appreciate you watching. We would hope that you would hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with your friends. And as always, if you try one of these recipes that we make, please let us know what you think about it. I really think you're going to enjoy this, and share it with your friends. We appreciate you watching, and we will catch you on the next video.